Welcome back to Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. And I am so thrilled because today we are breaking records on Jake's Take. I have the largest group I've had I get to interview. And not only that, they're one of my all-time favorite America's Got Talent acts of all time. They represent the Center for American Military Music Opportunities, or CAMMO. They were first discovered to America's Got Talent season 14. They were fifth place, and they got in fifth place. They should have won. And they also were just featured on America's Got Talent Champions season 2. And recently, they just released their very first EP called Rise. So please help me welcome retired Master Sgt. Caleb Green, retired Staff Sgt. Ron Henry, Sergeant Major Christal Rheams, and Sergeant First Class Jason Hanna, a.k.a. the Voices of Service.
Woo! Yes.
I'm so honored and thrilled to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Thanks for having us, Jacob.
You're so welcome. And before we get everything out of the way, I want to say thank you, each and every one of you, for serving our country.
That's our honor.
Thank you.
That's our honor. Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
All right. Now that's out of the way, I want to say it has been a year since Voices of Service auditioned for America's Got Talent. How have the four of you grown as vocalists and performers?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Caleb, you want that one?
Go ahead, Caleb, you take that one.
I can take it. Sure, Jake. Honestly, one of the first things that comes to mind with that question is how we've grown is that there's one thing to assume that you are what you say you are, but it's another thing to be affirmed that you are who you said you were. And what we had the opportunity to do was to go before the world and say, we are Voices of Service, and this is what we stand for. And since, being aired live, we had done it so many times when it wasn't on such a grand stage, but our hearts remained the same and our mission remained the same. And to this day, we're still a family. We're still tight. We're brothers and sisters. We love what we do, and we haven't changed. That's so difficult to do in this business. I see people that have $1.50 worth of success, and then they have a $15 million attitude, but we're not like that. And what really helped is that when we got to the studio, all of this stuff that we had welled up in us, we were able to put into our music, and now we get to share it with the world.
Awesome. I gotta say, there were some, you guys have had, when I was watching season 14, you guys were my constant A list when it comes to A ratings. When I do letter grades for each America's Got Talent season,
Oh, wow.
and you guys were all in the A's on every single performance. And so what were some of your favorite memories from your time on AGT?
Wow. You know what? I'm going to start. I have to start on that one. So there's a funny story, actually. I have a lot of great memories. The people we met, I could go for days. But for me, because we were just talking about it, one of my favorite memories is we had just come back into town to do the live shows, I think. And it was then when we had just landed in town that we could see the previous performance, because we hadn't seen it, because you couldn't see those performances. So I remember we were rehearsing. We were all really tired, but they gave us the link to be able to watch the show. And all I remember happening is we're singing and we're rehearsing, and we stopped to listen, because our part came on. And I remember Simon saying something about my voice. And and this is a group effort. I have to reaffirm that this is a group effort. But I was running around the room screaming like a little girl. Like, so I was freaking out about it. That's one of the memories, but there are so many, especially being able to share the time with these three gentlemen who are my family, especially being able to share that time with them and just watching the reaction that the audience had to us, getting the letters, the emails, just the reactions via social media for people that we were able to help through the TV screen, just with music alone, just with music and just with what we had to say and what we put forth. That's really the biggest part of all of this, is that no matter what happened on that stage, we were all very committed and still very committed to wanting to help the world through music. And that, you know, that makes a million memories.
Indeed. I mean, I'll go next. My favorite experience was the time when they called Voices of Service and Cody Lee to the stage. It was my, you say everybody remembers that one. That was a memorable moment because the thing is, when you're thinking about it, you're looking at it on TV and everybody's probably like, no. But we were doing the same thing.
I was raising my hand saying, please do not cut either of these acts. They deserve to go in the finals, and whichever voters decide to eliminate both of them, shame on them.
We appreciate that. And we were like, I remember, I'm gonna go and spill the beans on Ron. So I remember we were talking, you can't hear what we're saying on stage. Ron was like, well, it was a good run.
We're going home. We're going home. I was like, well, we're going home.
Yeah.
And you know what's bad is that we had a huge relationship with Cody. Like we had just, I mean, it was great. Like we were both just looking at each other like, this is happening, you know.
Yeah, this is the heartbreak moment. But well, you know, as things turned out, you know, both of us got put through. So that was awesome. But that was a very memorable experience for me because I had never gone through anything like that in my life. That was amazing. But that's me. That's what I got.
How about you, Dex?
Well, I guess I'll go next. I think one of the most memorable moments for me was just from day one to the last day. And I say all that to say this. Season 14 will go down in history as the best season thus far out of AGT. I don't care what anybody says. And the reason why I say that was because even though it was a competition, everybody did not act like we were in a competition. We just act like we were all doing a show and we were all were cheering for one another. We all were encouraging one another. We all were rooting for one another. It was just, you know, you felt no combative or no nothing like I sing better than you or we'll see. It was none of that. It was just such a family-oriented group of people who wanted to show their love for what they do, whether it was singing, dancing, you know, whatever it was. And it was just no negativity. It was like we just, you know, for all of us, we just love going there. We love being there. We love, you know, watching people and watching them do their, you know, their sound check and all of their, you know, going through their act before they really do the act on TV. And it was just like we were rooting for them, you know, like when The Unbeatable came on the stage, we was like, go The Unbeatable, you know, we were all rooting for them. And it just had that type of presence. And so it really got, you know, more emotional when people were going home and voted off the show. We had to leave them and we were giving hugs. And I never remember a memorable moment when we were up against what's his name, Christal?
Benicio?
What's the young man's name? Luke. When we were up against Luke, it was us and Luke, and then they picked us. And Luke said something so phenomenal to Christal, you know. And if I could share, Christal, Luke told Christal, "You've always been nice to me. Thank you so much." And it was just you could just feel the love and the gratitude in the room, you know, and it was just amazing. So I honestly, every day we just, you know, whether we were tired because there were some long hours and some long nights and some long days, you know, we had some of the best chicken salad sandwiches ever on the side of California.
That was memorable. That was memorable.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Best chicken salad sandwiches ever. So it was just, you know, like Christal said, it was so many moments, so many memorable moments. But I just have to say, I would, if I had to say it, from day one to the last day, every day was just, we just loved it. We were tired, but we kept pushing, and we enjoyed seeing everybody there. So yeah, I'm gonna run it over to Caleb. Sorry if I hope I ain't taking any of your stuff, man. But
no,
yeah,
man. I mean, really, every moment was a highlight because it's a once in a lifetime chance, and singing with your battles, your lifelong battle buddies, and considering that we're much older than the majority of the cast there, and we were still able to connect with them. We were still able to provide, like Ron described, just that atmosphere of family. We would get together before the live shows and just sing, everybody, hundreds of people in one small space. And we're like, how much time we got left? And they were like, got 2 minutes. Okay, we got time for one more song. I mean, those kind of moments we just repeated over and over again. Last one's out the studio, the oldest now. The first one's up in the morning to make a call, but we would come in and greet, the people who were on staff, and to have them give us feedback like, we love you guys. Like, no, we really love you guys, because it's who we want it to be, and it's what we want it to represent. This isn't a memorable stage moment to my joy. This is probably to my. Anyway, I'll tell the story.
We are much older. Oh God. We were still able to connect. Don't worry about that.
Siri. Anyway. What the heck? That is crazy. So there's a moment. No, exactly. There's a moment when we were on stage, and we were blocking, and it takes a long time. You got to be exactly where you're supposed to be, foot on the X, yada yada. And Terry was standing next to me, and Terry, I mean, the only fat that he really has on his whole body is his earlobes and his lips. And I said to him, "Excuse me, kind sir, would you be as kind as to put on a shirt?" Because everything was just rippling, right? And he was like, "I can't hear you for the sound of my rippling muscles." Pow, 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 pow. He was just showing me, man. I was like, okay. I'm like, what? I can't hear you. And everybody was in tears at my expense. But it was hilarious. And it was just, unless you were there, it doesn't necessarily translate, but it was still a great moment. It's just something that it's something he won't forget, because if you see him 5 years from now, I remember that time you tried to whatever. But with Voices of Service representatively, we just had a blast. We tried to maximize the experience. I mean, for me, that was.
So I guess now would be the time to tell them about walking in. The Saudis were stripping right in the middle of the.
Sure, might as well.
Talk about putting an old woman in cardiac arrest. That was priceless.
We were trying to get them a McDonald's deal.
I'm loving
it. These stories are incredible. And I am so happy to hear that your season was a season full of family, a season full of positivity. And like, I've heard from people that they've had, like, they bonded with half of the acts, but like at the same time, I am so thrilled that season 14 bonded the way they did, and it truly showed. So I want to talk to you about earlier this year, you returned like months after the completion of Got Talent. You guys got invited to compete on the sophomore season of America's Got Talent, The Champions. And what did it mean to be invited back?
Who wants that one?
Well, I think it was a sense. Yeah. If I could take it, I think it was a sense of we felt affirmed. We said earlier, we felt like we had somewhat arrived and had been noticed and received by the AGT family, those past and present, and even in the future. I think this group will go down in history as one of the top acts that was received by America. And I just think it was an honor. We don't take it lightly. Even though we know we didn't go as far as we wanted to, but I think we gave an A+ performance. And even with that, even going back to AGT, we were asked a question, what are you going to do if you win $1 million? Or what are you going to do if you win Champions? We never go into this thinking about that, Jacob. We never thought about it. All we wanted to do was show the world that through music, there's healing. There's a form of gratitude. There's a form of us showing the world that we are grateful to be able to be four souls who share our love and able to sit and be transparent and show you our heart, show you what we've been through, and show you that yet you may be one going through the same thing, going through challenges in life and going through some type of stress or post-traumatic stress or some type of traumatic brain injury or whatever that you are facing in life. We are here to help you and to let you know that there's nothing in this world that you can't face. And if we can be that voice for you to help you rise, to help you know that we're your brother, we're your sister, to let you know that we'll keep pictures of you on the wall, those songs that we wanted to reach out to them and let them know. I know they're laughing at me now because they think I'm about to cry. But
I was waiting for it.
I'm the most emotional one out of the group. So I will bust out a tear in a moment because it means so much to me to have these three people in my life. They have helped me tremendously, more than they ever know. And I love being with them. I will sing with them until the day my heart stops beating the last beat. There's nothing in this world I won't do for them. Again, the highest mountain, the lowest valley, the deepest ocean, whatever. Stop it, Christal. But I just, again, we're a group that shows that love, that shows that spirit, that there is healing. And we just want to be that. And just to think of another story, one time we were doing, at the end of a show, we were on the, what do you call it, guys, where we do all the interviews at the end of the show.
Red carpet.
Red carpet?
Yeah, we did a red carpet.
Yeah.
Well, one of the cameramen told us that their daughter had a post-traumatic event at her job. She was robbed at gunpoint. So immediately, we all got together. We looked at each other. It's just like our chemistry is so amazing. We looked at each other and we already knew what we needed to do. We had him pull out his phone and we did a song for his daughter. And we said, we want you to send that to your daughter, encouraging her, because she didn't want to come out. She just, got herself in the house, didn't want to come out, didn't want to do anything out of fear. But we want everybody to know that though you live in fear, we're going to be a voice for you to bring you out, to let you know that you can face that challenge and you can move on. And he had tears in his eyes, but he thanked us for what we did. And no, did we have to do it? No, we didn't. But that is the type of spirit that this group has, that this organization has, and we want to spread that, and that's what we did.
I have to piggyback on Ron because every day, one of the things that I do remember the most is like almost every day was exhausting, and it wasn't exhausting for a physical reason. I mean, we all worked out, but I would leave just with all my emotions gone. Because I would give so much, and that was the point. I wanted to give so much. I wanted to give. I wanted to, be a part. And because one of the things that this organization has taught me better than anything else, and a lesson that I needed, is that giving is much better than receiving. And you actually receive more when you give.
Yes.
And that exhaustion was just welcomed. I mean, it was like, please, to take what I have to give, and, as far as champions go, I want to piggyback on this because we had the benefit of doing, most acts leave and they have one collaboration, at the end of the show, even at top 5. And we had a great collaboration with Billy Ray Cyrus. Champions brought us on and we ended up with a great collaboration with a huge band out of Ireland, who now we have like this bond with, and like we've permanently, been able to kind of refer to them and get guidance from them and talk to them, not to mention that their music is just simply phenomenal. And that's with Codaline, because of a song, believe it or not, we didn't even want to sing.
Really?
It was like, and don't get me wrong, because they give you, they're like, hey, have you thought about this one? Or, as you're going through it, and we were all like, I don't know, it doesn't get me, and then it came on TV after we did it, and I remember standing in my living room like, who is that? But then also knowing that what we worked through to make sure that the message was absolutely what we wanted to deliver. And, them as a band and as a group, they were all in it with us. They were, let them do it. Do this, change this. Yeah, whatever you want. And then asked us to do more with them. I will forever go down saying that Kodaline is definitely, if you ever get a chance to collaborate or listen to their music, it's worth every minute. It's worth every minute.
I gotta say that your performance of Brother moved me to tears when I saw that when you guys sang that song. I got the chills when I saw that, and I felt that if they had a guest judge that day, you guys would have got or gave Terry his golden buzzer back. I thought that you guys would have immediately either advanced to the final, because that was one of the best vocals from any of the champions rounds. And I'm talking about, it's on the same level as Paul Potts and Susan Boyle's performance and Christina Ramos's performance and Bionica Ryan and Poppycock's performance. That's on the same level. And I was truly heartbroken not seeing you guys advance to the final or as a wild card.
Well, that and again, that's just however the process works. And honestly, I always believe that we're put in a place for a reason. And so much came out of that one champions episode. I mean, friendships, lifelong friendships that have come out of that didn't happen before. Collaborations. I mean, just people. We're still feeling that. We're still feeling champions, and it's not just a post-COVID environment. We're still feeling champions, and I would do it again. I'd do it again. I would do all of this again, to be honest with you. Yeah. It was just that great of an experience for us. But I definitely would do it again. And we didn't walk out of there as losers. We actually probably walked out of there with more. We definitely walked out with more than we came in with. And that's always what you want.
Right. I definitely agree with you guys, especially because I just hope when all this passes and if Britain's Got Talent Champions comes back for series 2, I really hope Simon and his UK production team really give you guys one of the first calls, because the thing is, Britain's Got Talent Champions was phenomenal, and I really believe that you guys would definitely rise up to the occasion with when you go up against the British talent and the other talents around the world.
All we can do is stack it up.
All righty. So I want to talk to you guys about Rise. It's one of your EP and your 4 tracks and the reasons why you picked these tracks. So let's start off with simply the title track, Rise, from your audition.
Anybody?
Jason?
Well, I'll take a stab at this one. I think that song was kind of like even though let me say this really quickly. Let Me Raise My Voice is the anthemic one that I call it, the anthemic of all of the tracks on there. But Rise is the first song that we did on AGT. And I felt like that song had to be on the EP because it was like the rise, the underdog or whatever, what have you. We were just there. We didn't have any expectations. We just came on the show and Christal blew it out the water. I know she's going to say, no, I didn't. It wasn't me. But seriously. But I think that, for me, I think that we had to have that song on the album because it just kind of like gave homage to everything that we had done, from that point on. And it was like, this is how it all started, folks. So we need to go ahead and respect this moment. And we're going to do it a little bit better, a little bit differently, just to kind of add a little flavor to it. But still, we had to add that homage to the whole process. And that's what I would have to say about that one.
Awesome. Okay, so Brother, I keep on listening to it nonstop. Still one of the best covers of 2020. And also, I did see the live stream with you and Kodaline in May. And how did that opportunity come about?
Anybody? Well, I'll do it because I just love them so much. So there's a little behind the scenes history too. In Champions, we were on Champions with Connie Talbot, who is another now friend. And Connie was writing with Kodaline. I know that they were writing because she mentioned some of her original material. But after seeing Brother, I think Jason Boland, who is the bassist for Kodaline, reached out to our management and said, "Hey, I'd like to do this." And we were like, "Hey, okay, let's do it." And that's how we did the collaboration with Brother. They just like what we did with it. They liked the way, what we put to it. And for us, as it was explained to us, because one of the interns said, our group was great with words. We're great with the interpretation and making those words pictures. And he said he felt like that song had words that really adhered to our mission. And so the only thing that we wanted to change was that it didn't say just Brother, because, on the front lines, everywhere you go now, it's not just men, it's women. And even though it's a universal term, we still wanted to make sure that it included everybody. And they were all in for that. And so that was the biggest change that we made. But it really, once we started into it, and I remember standing on the stage that night when she rehearsed it over and over again, but I remember standing on the stage that night and the song started and Jason started, and it was like, this is it. This is magical. It was just like magic happened. It was just like, this is magical. And I felt that way about everything that they've done. I mean, their songwriting ability, the group Kodaline, their songwriting ability is tremendous. And, no song is any good without a great songwriter. And they definitely are great songwriters.
And they're so gracious too. I think they were, oh my gosh, towards us.
Simply just to hear it in that Irish accent. And we like voices of service. It's like, oh, okay. I like that too. Yeah, but it was good. It was a great collaboration, and it's a great song. And sometimes, with the new modern music, with all the EDM and everything, and once you get it all in there, sometimes you don't hear the song. And that's what we did. We brought the song out. We just kind of pulled out those great words that they already wrote. And that had to be on the album.
Mm-hmm. And I got to say that I watched that live stream. I watched a live. I specifically skip to your parts. Seriously. And when I saw your harmonies were incredible, and hopefully on a future record, I would love to have see that duet with you and Kodaline.
Oh, that would be great. Yes.
Now, the thing is, there's one song missing that's one of my all-time favorites that you sang, your cover of Leona Lewis, Footprints in the Sand. It's probably one of my all-time favorite actual performances on AGT. You guys did so much with that song. You guys did that, and I love Choke, but I'm seriously thought that hopefully my fingers are crossed, if you guys do another EP or another album, and if Simon gives his approval, I would love to hear your rendition of Footprints in the Sand again.
Well, we'll definitely have to put that up there, I think. Or I say definitely. We have to make a group decision. Yeah. But I think that we just went 4 this time, and that's just kind of where we stopped. And next time we'll have more, possibly more originals. I'm not sure if the fact that Simon wrote that song was a factor or not. I don't know about the negotiations for that one, but I definitely love singing it. I definitely love the whole bit. I mean, everything about that song was perfect for us.
Yeah. And I think you guys made Leona proud when you sang that.
Yes, she did tell us. Didn't she say something?
Yes.
She did say something to us about it because she was there for Champions, right?
She performed with Cody that night, but when she came up, she made her way to us and found our queen. And we were all just standing there like, hi.
That was right before I chased down Callum Scott.
Yeah, that's right. He was in the building too.
I love Callum Scott.
All righty, we got to get to Choke because it was probably, I went back and listened to the song and I got chills when that song. And I think you transformed and I did not know that song was from OneRepublic and Ryan Tedder.
Right.
I think that's all I'm going to say about that is I think that's the beauty of the interpretation of a song is when you take a song out of its element and you add your whatever it is you add to it, and then someone's like, I didn't even know that was someone else's song, because it's like I heard it for the first time. And that is a compliment. That is not for us to get the big head or anything about. It's just wow, we really appreciate that compliment, because it was a great song by itself. When we heard it, we were like, this is awesome. And people are saying, no, what you did to it was awesome. We're like, oh, okay, well, thank you.
And there's something else about the song that we weren't able to convey. So there's a particular reason why we picked that specific song.
Right.
We found out that we were going to be on, and was it the day before, or what? It was September 11th.
The day before. September the 10th was the
day. And for us, of course, military, September 11th is a big day. So the meaning for us behind that song had to do with those folks, who have lost, because Caleb and myself, or you came after, I think, right? Caleb?
What's that? In the band?
You said, yeah. So I was there when the planes hit the Pentagon.
Whoa.
And
I was there.
What I remember about that is the many people who showed up, and I told the story to the guys before we did it, and I said, what I remember is the many people that had to go home that night, and everything was just as they left it. Many people, especially in the DC metro area, when you work, your spouse is there. It's all mostly government employees. And so that day, a group of people went back home, and the same person that they went to bed with or had dinner with, they weren't there anymore. And for me, that's where the meaning started for that song. I mean, my own family. So my son was born, and I had just gone back to work on September 11th. I had just dropped him off for his first day of daycare, and tried to head to work and couldn't make it there. My husband had gone across the bridge and seen, planes flying low. So it definitely brought, for me, that's what it was. It's like, and it still stuck to our platform, and so we were able to say things that, normally, you wouldn't say. The song probably, I know, was not about that. But for us, that was the interpretation that we gave it. And it didn't help when you had some big guy going, I'll see breakfast on the table.
If I could, Jake, I just kind of want to follow up what Christal said. That song's imagery was the one that I kind of had a meltdown moment as an artist, because I wanted to convey something. I was really, really adamant about how it felt. And Ron was able to capture how it felt. But my point was, or our point was, it's not when you say you see your clothes in the closet, that's what you see. A dress, a shirt, or whatever. But for us, it had a little bit of a different meaning, because when soldiers are deployed and they're no longer with us, then we see their boots with an upside down M16 with the Kevlar, and then with the M16 and the Kevlar sitting on it with the flag vest. It's a different imagery. And that's why it was so important at that September 11th concept that it was going to hit that day. And the way that they were just able to capture our backstory with the video prior to it, it gave us the wings. And it really does mean something, being that happened in our backyard, as Christal described. It's hopefully something that will never be forgotten, the way that we conveyed it. And just to give the honor and the dignity of what we meant in the song when we sang it. And everybody here just had that signature emotion that we were able to project. And we don't ever sing to people. We sing through people. That's what we want to do. Yep. And if you felt that, then we accomplished what we came for.
Yes, we did.
That was our mission.
Yes, we did.
Awesome. So finally, let me raise my voice. What a beautiful way to close out that EP.
I don't want to tell all the stories, but I'll start because that's one of my favorites. Well, all of them are my favorite, of course, but producer came to us. We actually had another song on the EP. Producer came to us and said, "This is what you need to do." Literally said, "This is the one you need to do." And I think, how long was it? 3 days?
It's like 3 days. Yeah.
It was like 3 days.
Yeah.
He said, "You got to learn it. We're going to do it. In 2 days, we're going to record it." And we're like, "Ooh," you know, and so we did. For us, it helped to capture a lot of stuff. And I'll just speak for myself personally and let my brothers chime in. But for us, it helped us capture some of what many people are feeling in the world. And it's not just about, you know, Black lives. It's not just about blue lives. It's not just about, it's more about being able to raise your voice. And you know, are you going to sit there silent? If there's something you believe in, stand up for it. If there's something you believe in, stand up for it. And a lot of times, even as service members, we feel like we don't have a voice. And the truth is you do have a voice. You just exercise it in a different way, or you utilize it in a different way. But coming from us, being able to say, you know, raise your voice. I mean, the words in that song are so impeccable. I mean, just one of my favorite lines is, "Will you sit there silent, hopeless, and afraid, or will you rise above the ones that stand there in your way?" Mm-hmm. I mean, and that can apply to any situation. It, to me, is an anthemic. It's not a seasonal song. It's not a fly-by-night song. It's something that will stay for generations and generations to come.
Absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with that. All righty. So we got to talk about legacy because, as you all know, America's Got Talent celebrating 15 years on the air. And you guys, and what does it mean for all of you to be a part of America's Got Talent's legacy?
Right.
I think it's again, it will all go down as a milestone in all of our lives and our families' lives and our friends' lives to know that we were a part of America's #1 show. Not only just America, but global. I remember us being in a restaurant at one of the hotels that we stayed in, and people know us in India. You know, you know, we're known everywhere. So just to be a part of that legacy, it's amazing and it's humbling to know that we had an effect not only on just the globe, the world, America, the judges, the audience, the crew. We've gotten so much encouragement from them and how we inspired them. You know, and to hear the producers say, "You guys are amazing. You guys, you know, touched our hearts with your song. We felt every word in your interview. We felt every note that came out of your voice." Just to be a part of that and know that they know you. And we would take that spirit that we had in us and try to make it, make sure I say the right word, Christal. I won't say it wrong. We try to.
He's gonna make up a word. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
So let me bring Jacob up to speed. So we were in an interview one time, and I said that the spirit of our group is confectious. I meant to say infectious, but I said confectious. So Chris was like,
the camera goes off and I go, "Did he just say confections?"
Sometimes like that, you just let it ride. Let it ride. Just let it ride.
So I had to put myself on the table, Jacob, before they did. I put myself on the own table. So, but yeah, we were infectious throughout the whole season, and they made it known to us. So to be a part of the AGT legacy, it'll always go down. I want to be able to tell my children, my children's children, and let them tell their children to know that, you know, this group was a part of a legacy that will forever be one of the #1 historic TV shows ever. So again, we're humbled, we're grateful. Thank you, Simon. Thank you to the whole AGT crew. If anybody from AGT, is listening to this or will ever hear this, again, we will forever be grateful for your wisdom, your support, and everything you did to make us feel comfortable. And we will never forget it.
I just want to add on there. I don't think our legacy is over. I think legacy is an ending word. I think it's just begun. I think that this is that we will see more of, or you will see more of us definitely, and hopefully see more of us around the AGT, BGT, just that Got Talent Global. That would be a really nice addition. So I'm just going to put it out there and profess it that legacy is over. I don't think we're over yet.
Yeah. I totally agree. You guys are not over. You're just getting started.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, here is the second to last question. So in addition to being part of AGT, you are also part of CAMO. And what does it mean for all of you to represent CAMO?
Who got it?
I'll take it if you like. One of the things that was really powerful for us is to be able to represent something that was bigger than ourselves. I was introduced to CAMO through Christal. I was introduced to Ron and Jason through CAMO, through Christal. And that part of it for us has been our authenticity. Of all of the people in our organization, our chemistry is what allowed us to just really bond and kind of take it to the next level. But we weren't trying to take it to the next level like in a selfish way. We were just always trying to be better, and we can challenge each other without it being a competition. We instill and we inject and we hopefully personify an excellence. And we were doing this when nobody was looking. And I had a privilege to speak to a group of business owners when I got back from AGT. I said, we were doing this when no one was looking. And when the lights turned on, there we were. And CAMO is the Center for American Military Music Opportunities. And what we were able to do is just take our gifts and talents and to be able to share them with other people who aspire. But one of the greatest things that we could ever do is work with the children. And all of us have had that privilege to do so. And when you work with a child and you see them grow from being, a little girl or boy to a young lady to a young man, and they consider you a part of, their development and an extended uncle or aunt, it's so powerful because we affected that family, but now this family has moved and gone someplace else in the world. And those seeds that we were able to plant, is now transplanted. And Miss Kathy Laharis, with her vision as co-founder of CAMO, she was able to see down the road a long time before we ever got there. And here we are today, bigger and brighter, better than ever, and hopefully getting better and hopefully having more opportunities to do things that are going to really affect change. You asked the question a little while ago about the $1 million. We said it would be great to have $1 million. Of course, we could do a lot with that, but we really wanted to change 1 million lives. And that's our goal. And I think that it's possible for us to achieve that through the platform that we've been given now. Guys.
I'd hate to follow that one up.
That's a perfect mic drop. That is a perfect mic drop yourself. You just did it. And all righty. So earlier this summer, America's Got Talent announced auditions for season 16. So what advice that you'd like to share with your fans who are interested in auditioning or your fellow musicians who want the chance to audition for the show? All right, Ron.
My advice to any person that wants to audition for America's Got Talent, whatever your talent is, do it from your heart. Do it from your heart and do it with joy. Mm-hmm. Because if you do it from your heart and you do it with joy, the people are going to see the joy in you doing it, and it's going to infectious. It's going to resonate with every heart that you do it in front of. And they're going to see that you enjoy what you do, you love what you do, whether it's singing, dancing, whatever it is. Do it from your heart. And that's all I can say.
I want to throw in there and just say, if I could give any advice, I would tell them to be almost like saying, what would you tell your younger self? I would tell them to be open to the experience, to be open to the advice, to be open to manipulating the product to be something different. You know, sometimes if you come into it thinking that this is all I can do, this is what I can do, I promise you that there are people there that can push you past your boundaries.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to go past those boundaries. Audition, yes, by all means, I recommend this experience to anybody for a lot of reasons. And one of the main reasons is you can't grow if you don't fail a couple of times, and if you don't, and if you don't try. I'm not to say that you would fail, right, but you can't grow if you don't at least try. And I think that I came out of this experience, or we came out of this experience a total other group than what we went in as. And I welcome that and love that, the fact that it's helped us grow. So
yeah.
The
only thing. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say the only, and I would add, I was going to say something similar to what Christal said about being open to the process and being teachable. And, greatness is it's like perfection. It's a really hard target, but I would say, if you don't, I got this quote from somebody, I borrowed it, but if you don't start, then you can't be great unless you at least first start. And that rings true for a lot of different things and a lot of different aspects of life. Is if you never start, then there's no way to achieve that greatness. But you can be great once you've started, but you can never be great until you've at least first started. So, and I think for us, that was our story. We stepped out on the water and lo and behold, we actually floated. Float above the empty noise. Anyway.
Yeah, because even when we first auditioned for AGT, it took a while for them to respond to us. So we thought, well, maybe they didn't like us. It took a while for them to come back and say,
no.
We want you on the show.
Let's be truthful. Thinking we were gonna get in the show.
Like, no way.
We were like, we're going to New York to sing together. So we just went in there, stopped at a diner on the way back home, and and then here comes the call. Hey, you're on the show. I was like, what? What show? What are you talking about?
We're in?
Really?
What? We made it?
We made it? So.
And that is why you guys rock. So, guys, where can my audience find you on social media? And more importantly, where can they find your music?
So we're on every streaming platform. Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, everywhere. And we're also, if you want to follow us, we're Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I don't think we're on any of the things like Discord and Snapchat. And we may have some lingering videos on TikTok. But official stuff, Voices of Service, hashtag VOS, you can find us. And we hope that people will dig in and listen to our music and reach out to us and let us know, how we're doing and hopefully continue to follow us as we track this path forward and go on and continue to share with the world the music of Ron, Caleb, Christal, and Jason. That's the hope. So every social media platform you can possibly find, we're there.
All right.
And lastly, wait, before I got to put this plug in for the video. We have a video coming out soon.
Yep.
And just so be on the lookout for that. You're going to really enjoy it, Jake. You're going to really enjoy it.
Yes, you will.
I'm very excited for this exclusive announcement. So thank you guys. So Okay, so if you want to download more episodes of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast, head to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. Once again, Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. And also, please subscribe to my social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. This has been an incredible year for the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast because we've had conversations with Vicky Barbalak and with the Clairvoyants as well. And also Drew Lynch and Andrew DeLeon and Prince Poppycock. So now we have an incredible roster of AGT All-Stars.
Wow.
Woo, that's awesome.
All righty. And finally, if you want to read why I loved Voices of Services Rise and why I've loved them throughout season 14 and Champions, head to jakestake.com. Once again, jakes-take.com for more articles, my interviews, and of course, my music reviews. All righty, Ron, Jason, Caleb, and Christal, thank you so much for taking time out of your respective schedules to talk with me. I am so thrilled that you guys came on the podcast. It was one of my all-time favorite podcasts because of your openness, because of your ability to reflect, and because of your ability of your infectious chemistry.
Thank you for having us, brother. Appreciate you.
Very much.
We love you, Jake.
We love you, Jake.
I love you guys too, and have a great day.